Alright, time for a garden update. My tree hasn't come out of dormancy or started really sprouting yet. It might be dead. It looks a little dead to the top, but down here some of these nubs seem to be growing. But yeah, I don't know if that's going to survive or not. My strawberries, however, are doing fantastic. I've never had my Yellow Wonder wild strawberries produce quite as good as they have this year. Gotten really good size for a wild strawberry. And they're pretty tasty as well. And they are just popping out all over the place. Falling off the vine all over the place. I can't even eat them fast enough. So it looks like a few slugs are getting to them. But with alpine strawberries like this kind, wild alpine strawberries, they tend to propagate on seeds rather than runners like most common varieties you see in the garden. So as these fall to the ground, they should produce more. Oh, there's a nice size one. Ooh. They're just all over the place. More than I can even pick and eat. Still a lot of weeding I need to do around here. A whole bunch of strawberries right there. Another decent size one. These are pretty much record setting for my growing of these Yellow Wonder wild strawberries. Type of strawberry called alpine strawberries. Finally got some cool weather here in Colorado. My peas I got in a little later than normal, and with some of the weird cold snaps and then heat waves, they didn't grow very long. This is a variety called dwarf gray sugar snow peas, but they usually get a little longer than this, but this is a good example of a pod filling out. Oop. These tend to be pretty sweet. Not too big of a deal that they're going to seed too quick to get much snap peas out of them, but I wanted to save them for seed peas anyway, and they go all the way down there. I have a few peas growing in here with the garlic. Garlic's probably going to be better than last year's. I'm probably going to have the biggest garlic harvest I've had yet. The beans have been much slower than you usually see beans, and they've also been getting buried. I have not been weeding here very well, but I got Royal Burgundy purple beans on this side that are mostly buried by weeds, and Dragon Tongue on here on this side. My wheat is a emmer wheat, a ancient type of wheat, is doing pretty good. Have not seen any tops come out yet, but it's nice and green. I got to get some of the bindweed you can see there. I need to get some of that, more of that out of here, but luckily it's not too bad. These are my second year carrots, and they are flowering wonderfully. I'm going to have plenty of yellow Amarillo carrot seeds. And yes, these are a yellow carrot. And yeah, the seed heads are doing good. Got some pests in there, but some of them are also helping pollinate, so I'm not complaining. Flowers actually smell, their flowers are small scents, or faint scent, but they still smell really good in my opinion. Each seed head is going to make hundreds of seeds. Some of these are far along of developing their seeds, like this one's about to come out with seeds. The flowers have fallen, or I believe that's the one that the flowers have fallen off. Now my barley, this is black hulless barley. They are already starting to come out with their seed heads here. And trying to struggle in between is some dill here. Got some dill to maybe make a few pickles. These are my blue Hubbard squashes, enormous leaves. The squashes tend to be pretty big like a pumpkin. Don't see any pumpkins starting to form yet, but I have just started getting flowers, and I think most of them are male flowers to start with. Got my asparagus growing from seed this year, so it's... Hey Jinxie, how's it going? How you doing, kitty? And so I did grow the asparagus from seed this year. And I'm trying to grow them in this bin, so hopefully after 2 or 3 more years I'll have some asparagus that's strong enough root system to begin picking them. This right here is lime basil. It does taste like lime. If anybody grows lemon or lime basil, it really does taste like lemons or limes. The lemon basil is almost too strong with the lime. It's like putting a lime right in your mouth with a little bit of basil. It's super strong. It really surprised me how strong it was. My potatoes are in these bins here. Some of them are doing okay like that one. Some of them not so much like that one. But they're coming along. My watermelons have kind of struggled. I don't know what happened to this one. It bent over and got wiry right there. Flattened out. But for some reason it's still growing better than the ones that didn't. So I don't know what happened there. Did get them started a little later than I wanted, so that's probably a factor. These are some Boston pickling cucumbers. Might have to thin them out some more. That and the dill, I went with the dill and the garlic and the onions. I wanted to make some pickles this year. This growing right here is some fennel, which has a slight black licorice flavor. If anybody likes black licorice, if you don't, you may not like fennel. You may be indifferent to it. I have not thinned my beets or my romaine lettuce, 4-inch loose romaine lettuce, hardly at all. Surprisingly, they haven't choked each other out completely. My white blackberry is doing fantastic. It's in the blackberry family because it has thorns and the core stays on the berry when you pick them. So it's not a black raspberry or a raspberry. It's a white. It's considered a white blackberry. It looks a little pinkish when they develop berries. No berries yet, but probably won't have any this year. Some arugulas flowering and about to make some seed pods. Actually, there's already some seed pods developing. Oops. Right there. And I just wanted to get some more fresher arugula seeds, but the seeds I had, even though they're several years old, were growing well from my last harvest probably 4 or 5 years ago. This interesting grassy looking plant is chufa, also known as ground almonds or tiger nuts. And they do taste a lot like almonds. It's like a grass that grows little tubers that look like potatoes underneath. When you first dig them up, little tiny potatoes, but they taste like some kind of nut, almond with a slight bit of sweetness to it. These are my black... Thin this one out. These are black carrots. They're actually kind of a purple, but they get pretty dark in there. An old school type of purple carrot, basically. I forget the exact variety of black carrot this is. I'll have to put it on the screen for you once I'm editing this. Tastes like carrot. Some more squash plants that I took from over there to thin out because there was way too many. There's 3 over there right now. I tried to transplant 2. This one's coming back, but it did completely flatten out and shrivel up. Surprisingly, it came back. This one's coming back in a slight way with just a few newer leaves. But I'm surprised they came back because how they, when they got transplanted, they did not like it and they looked like they were going to completely die. But I was just trying to save them anyway, just to see how well they took the transplant. So that's the quick art garden update. Hopefully I'll be able to update with more fruits and visuals and stuff here in the near future. I hope my asparagus especially does good, because that's going to take 3 years before I could, 2 or 3 more years before I could start harvesting. I'm very happy to see the bees come back. A little worried this year that the bees were not doing well and not, but there wasn't any when I first came out here, but they're all over the carrot seeds now. Always good to see the bees on there. We mostly get wasp around here. I think we finally mitigated the wasp enough that the bees aren't getting attacked by them. And the bees are, or some kind of pollinator, are obviously helping my strawberries, so my strawberries did really well. So that's a quick, somewhat quick garden update. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later.